This is NR2003 Predicts. We take the entry list of the top 3 NASCAR series, send them through the N ratings algorithm, set them up by their provisional lineups, and set the forecast as they will be on race day, and we see what the computer says will be the finishing order on race day. In the truck race last night, Kyle Busch leading late, but a rash of cautions in the last stage allow Austin Hill to get by, Ben Rhodes coming up second, Kyle Busch taking third place eventually, Zane Smith and Matt Crafton rounding out the top 5. Did have a few accidents that took out some of the front runners, or those that we would normally see up front, like Tyler Ankrum, Johnny Sauter, Stuart Freese, and Sheldon Creed, all finishing back there 30th or worse. So now it's the Cup Series turn. Brad Keselowski and William Byron making up the front row after finishing 1-2 at Talladega. Michael McDowell also behind, followed by Kevin Harvick. Green flag out here at Kansas. Keselowski getting a really good jump on the initial start. William Byron trying to hang on to second over McDowell. But the two car way out in front to start off, and we've got trouble near the back of the pack. Eric Jones going around off the front of Alex Bowman. And the 43 slides back up into traffic, and heavy contact. The 78 plows right in there, and now we've got all those cars at the back of the field getting piled up in this one. And that was a big wreck for some of those guys that were just trying to hang in this race. Jones is now out of the race along with McLeod, Cindric, Ware, Gase, Hauff, and Bilicki. Meanwhile, back on the restart, Keselowski had the lead, but Harvick immediately going to the inside and taking away the line. He is the best driver among the active ones here in terms of average finish, 9.3. Cole Custer, his teammate, also there in second place. He leads the way with 3 wins along with Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin. You can see Hamlin here in the 4th position trying to work his way up. Did not have a great starting position, but he has found his way up near the front already. Martin Truex Jr. contending for the lead here. Leads that lap, has Harvick and Hamlin going underneath them. 9 top 5s here for him. Harvick leading the way at 10. The driver of the 4 going to be leading a lot of statistical categories. And he'll be leading top 10s as well. 4 drivers, though, tied at second place at 12 apiece. Kyle Busch, one of them, he is kind of struggling right now, just trying to see if he can work his way into the top 10. He started in the 9th position, but has had an early drop back, and now trying to see if he can work his way back up. Harvick also leading the way in the laps led category, and Joey Logano trying to see if he can eclipse 500. He's also outside the top 10, just like Busch, although he did have to come from 29th starting position after a wild flip at Talladega. And now we're starting to see green flag pit stops around lap 70. Denny Hamlin came in first, and then Martin Truex Jr. And next lap, we'll see Keselowski and Harvick come down. So everyone kind of within 3 laps of each other. They did pit under that first caution, but needed another to get to the end. And at the end of it all, Hamlin, who took the first pit stop, is going to get out first, and he will take the stage win. Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, and Kyle Larson will be the top 5 in stage number 1. Kyle Busch just barely sneaking into the top 10 there at the end of it. The drivers will take another pit stop to keep their tires fresh, and Hamlin will come out in front once again, followed by Keselowski and Harvick. Meanwhile, Martin Truex Jr. has fallen outside the top 10. So he had a really slow pit stop during that stage break. And then problems here as Keselowski gets into the wall, and Kurt Busch and Austin Dillon go around in front of the field, up in front of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kyle Busch, and I see some more spinning out in front of this incident right here. Let's ride on board William Byron, see what his perspective is. And he gets by this, but there's more problems here as Alex Bowman, Martin Truex Jr. in the wall, Ryan Preece involved, Alfredo, Custer, De Benedetto, and Byron is also going to make contact with the 21 car. So a big multi-car accident entering turn 1. However, this one did not take out anybody, unlike that first accident that took out a lot of those drivers in the back of the field. However, this incident might shuffle up the running order, and obviously a little bit of damage incurred is going to hurt your performance. All right, Keselowski trying to work his way up. He was the winner at Talladega, got his first win of the season. Meanwhile, Martin Truex Jr. caught up in that accident, fell outside the top 10 during the pit stop. Unsure why that happened, but he ended up getting collected in the accident in turn 1 and has some back end damage. Is a couple laps down now. Ryan Blaney's also multiple laps down. Not sure that that had anything to do with the accident. I believe that happened on pit lane. He had a mechanical issue, so he is now fighting from behind. Looks like his day is not going to go pretty well for him. Two drivers that led the way in wins last season now battling up front, although now we're seeing the 11 car starting to slow down and head to pit lane, and it looks like this is a scheduled stop. They were going to have to make one during the stage, and Hamlin choosing to take it now, and Harvick's going to stay out quite a few more laps than Hamlin is, about 7 longer, and it looks like in the end the 11 car is going to come out on the good end of that by short pitting it, and he will take stage number 2. He's going to sweep the stages here and see what he can do for the end of this race. Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Christopher Bell, and William Byron, the top 5 in this stage. So now we got a little bit of a split strategy in terms of what to do during the stage break. It looks like Hamlin will pit while Harvick, Byron, Reddick, and Larson will stay out. Now, of course, Hamlin has the fresh tires and Harvick does not, so the 11 car is going to start to breeze by him after restarting in the 5th position. 4 car is going to try to hang on, but ultimately he's going to have to make a pit stop sooner or later. Looking at Matt Benedetto, who had a very solid day at Talladega. That was a much-needed performance for that 21 team. Looking to get into the playoffs, that actually puts them at the 17th spot, fighting with Chris Buescher. Seen here as he battles with Anthony Alfredo for spot on the track. And the 38 car is going to go around as they made contact. 17 car was 10th place. Alfredo was multiple laps down, but they'll end up making contact, and 38 will get the blunt of that. We go back to the restart, Hamlin out in front, and that's actually going to give an opportunity for everyone to make a pit stop there, so the strategy never really worked out, and Harvick is going to start to charge back to the front now that he has fresh tires, but so does Hamlin, so they're kind of on even footing. Comes Kyle Larson charging up. He won earlier this year at Las Vegas, which is a very similar configuration to here at Kansas, so this could play into his hands in terms of if he wants to go for another victory. Chase Elliott, his teammate, also coming up through the pack. He's worked his way into 2nd place now, and he is still looking for his first victory of the season, coming off that title run last year. And we have a problem. The 5 car has dropped off the pace. Coming through the trioval, the 5 car of Larson has suffered some kind of mechanical issue and pretty much at the worst spot, has to go around the entire track at a slow rate of speed. He'll finally get it back. Has some back end damage, it looks like. He is 1 lap down, still only in 10th place though, so he has made pretty much the pit stop that he's going to need to get to the end of the race, and we're going to see some green flag stops here. Chase Elliott coming down along with Austin Dillon, and here comes Hamlin and Harvick at the same time. So despite the fact that Larson lost a lot of time running at a slow pace around the racetrack, he did make his final pit stop, and now everyone else has as well. Larson's actually now in the 5th spot. And Chase Elliott has found his way at the front, and we're running out of laps, but Harvick and Hamlin are still closing in. 4 car follows the 9 while the 11 tries to see if he can work the middle lane, but William Byron taking it up. 24 car 1 lap down. And now coming off the final corner, this is coming to the white flag, and Kevin Harvick is going to clear the 9. So Harvick takes the lead back on the white flag lap. Chase Elliott now stuck on the outside, William Byron to his inside along with Denny Hamlin. The 9's going to need a great run here, but he's not going to get it. The 4 car is now out in front, and Byron in between both of them. It's going to be a race for 2nd, but out in front, Harvick looking like he's going to take win number 4 at the racetrack. Elliott slots into 2nd over Denny Hamlin. They'll look to make another move, but coming to the start-finish line, Kevin Harvick going to claim his first victory of the season. It's been a very rough year for Stewart-Haas Racing, but Kevin Harvick has been their best performer, and he finally gets it pulled into victory lane. Chase Elliott is going to barely hold off Denny Hamlin to maintain 2nd place. Brad Keselowski will take 4th, and Kyle Larson pulls it back to 5th spot, despite the troubles he had late in the race. Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell were right there trying to take over that spot. Joey Logano barely finishing on the lead lap. Martin Truex Jr. ends up 2 laps down after his accident, even though he was leading laps earlier on. Bubba Wallace claims a top 15, and Kyle Busch just nowhere to be seen, although he was involved in that Stage 2 accident. Comes home in 15th, and Matt Benedetto, who needed a much better day to try to get ahead in the playoff run, he finishes 20th. Alex Bowman, 24th, Kurt Busch, 28th, both involved in that Stage 2 accident. Matt Mills, 29th in his debut, and Ryan Blaney had plenty of problems today, finishes 30th. And then several of those guys taken out in the Stage 1 accident, 33rd on back, they would drop out of the race. That is it for NR2003 Predicts. We hope you enjoyed the race, and we will see you all next time.